Hey guys, Alex Hormozi just added 103 as a payday, and it's not $103,000. It's $103 million payday. Would you like such a payday? It's not easy, but I went into full detective mode and I've broken down what he did exactly, his exact full funnel, and I'm going to share that funnel with you, the emails, the landing pages, exactly what he did before the webinar, during the webinar, and after the webinar to make 103 million with just one launch, a book launch. I'm writing a book right now. I'm preparing a book launch. So I was interested anyways. I was on my canoe with my 3 kids, and then I come back home and I see 7 emails by Alex Hormozi, and they were all very, very good. I was intrigued because I'm launching a book myself, and because, of course, you guys want to know what's the secret, Simon. If this is such a great funnel, can you break it down for us? And of course, I'm doing it. So let's see how Alex Hormozi made 103 million and what you can apply, because half of it is not applicable to you. He spent also 50 million in just ads. So most of it you cannot apply because you don't have 50 million for ads. But some of the things that he did, you can apply. So let's jump into that part. And if you want the full thing, you can go and download it. I will show you where. But right now, I want you to increase your win rates. Maybe they will not be as astronomical as Alex's, because that's advanced mode. But let's see what he did, because he shattered every book sales record in history. And he generated 81 million in the first 24 hours, right? So the campaign sold 2.9 million copies. So by now it's probably 3 million already. And they will keep selling and selling. So 2.9 million books sold, and they will keep going. He had this thing where he wants to break the Guinness World Record. Yes, and he did it. That's what I like about him. He's a funny guy. Come on. Guinness World Record for a book. So he spent a lot. So that's why you will not be able to replicate this full thing, nor should you want to do it. But a few things in there are interesting. So let me break down the pricing structure, the funnels, the emails that he sent, and exactly what he did. So pricing structure was $30 for a book, 6,000 for a donation, 18,000 for an advisory package, and then a secret one-on-one. So those were the 4 things. $30 for a book, 6,000 for a donation, 18,000 for an advisory program upsell, and a secret thing. Now, the 6,000 bundle was basically buy 200 books. But he never said buy 200 books. He said donate 199. We will dig into that part because it's very interesting. So this was the pricing structure. But how did he promote it? How do you get it to at least 2.9 million people? So one of his favorite books and one of my favorite books is the scientific advertising. And this framework comes from there, where you A/B test the heck out of it. 70% of his ads budget went into scaling creative that already works, but 20% went into testing new stuff and 10% into completely new experiments. Some of those experiments worked really well. For example, I liked the pattern interrupt imagery. There were these green people running around, and he had this huge book, bigger than he is. So those were pattern interrupts because you don't expect such a weird green or such a strange size of a book. That's why it was a thumb stopper. In technical terms in marketing, we call this a pattern interrupt because it surprises you. You didn't expect that. The second thing that you didn't expect, you sign up for this webinar like my team did, but then actually it's not a webinar, it's a marathon. It was 3 days, 7 hours on day one, 6 hours on day two, and 4.5 hours on day three. And the structure, he never said it, but the structure was actually Jason Fladlin's structure. We had Jason on the show, so you can rewatch it and you will recognize the structure. Great structure with opening hour and then a teaching phase, the social proof. And this, guys, this is what you can implement. Let's say you do a monthly webinar. You just scale it down. If this is 60 minutes, you scale down the time accordingly, right? But you have an opening part where you build authority. You have a teaching phase, you have social proof part, then you reveal the offer, then you might have some mystery guests, something unexpected, and then a Q&A and the actual close. This is the sales push. After you have created trust and credibility, this is where the sales push comes. One thing I've really liked about Alex's flow is that 95% of the time he did not talk about the book. 5% of the time he did talk about the book. So why did he do it? Did he forget? No. Everything was absolutely rehearsed. He's a pro. He's an athlete. He prepares like an athlete for these things. 95% of the time he was talking about the bonus, the donation, and 5% of the time he was talking about the actual product that he wanted to sell. Now he's getting a ton of critique online because he's always been the guy who said, "Hi, I'm Alex, I have nothing to sell you." And now he was selling aggressively in a way that we call this in marketing, we call this a burn the list intensity, because he sent so many emails. I just got 4 just during the event, 7 before the event. So there were so many emails in an intensity that in Europe you would burn the list. In America, I think people are getting acquainted to that intensity. In fact, some of us marketeers, we really like it. But we are the geeks, the nerds in there. I think most people that you send emails to, if are in Europe, don't do that. And if you're in the US, I think now you have a chance to even win and stand out with this intensity. So 95% he was talking about the bonus. What else did he do? And you can download the whole thing. So there was a pre-launch sequence of 6 weeks where he was building up the intensity. There was some positioning, some mystery building. He said, "Guys, I have some mystery guests." Then he was daily escalating. These green people were coming up. He had some social proof. And he got my attention with the green people. Then there was launch day sequence. During launch day, we had, "Guys, we're live in 3 hours. We're almost live. We're live now." Then Laila, his wife, "Alex is killing it right now. Join us." There were milestones in real time. I love them. The complete bonus tech breakdown and the 60 minutes left to create that urgency that sometimes can come across as fake and backfire, but in this case it worked. So then the main thing was his 6K upsell, which included a stack of things that he stacked in his hands. There were all these books and these blueprints that he printed out. So there were physical components. And in an online world, when you have physical components like 12 hardcover files, right, binders, we said these are the playbooks that I used and that my team is using, with some nice titles like the proof checklist, the marketing machine, and they were positioned as, "Hey, these are our internal SOPs that we use." So that was a very smart positioning. It's real stuff and you can get it. It has worked. And then there were also some digital components like an AI clone of him, and then live virtual implementation, community trial. He spent 31 minutes visually stacking those things, like literally showing you that stuff. So that's, I think, one thing that worked well, because He really put in the effort there. Then he created a hard deadline pressure, a capacity-based scarcity, which many of us cannot create because it's fake. And if you fake it, it backfires. But in this case, it works. He said, I'm offering this just one time. Then there was a live countdown timer during the streams. What I really liked is there was a leaderboard where you would see the results, how many books he's selling right now. And that created an actual scarcity and urgency that was fun to watch. Then, and nobody remembers this anymore, but it was, I have a secret project. It's worth more than an NFT, less than a Bitcoin, and you will get it if you stay until the end. The mystery headliners. So he created really some very interesting, entertaining moment there. And he turned the loss aversion of the people into, well, he used more the loss aversion than the desire for gain. He didn't say, you will make $1 million doing this. He said, look, I can share my SOPs, but there is only this limited time that I will share it. And so by doing that, he turned that into loss aversion. And that's an eternal psychological principle. People hate losing money or hate losing something, hate losing an opportunity. The referral program was fantastic, and this is very hard to implement for most of you. We have been able to implement this with a few teams worldwide, but you need a big marketing team and expertise in order to do this. And this is advanced mode. So you build up affiliate structures and leaderboards and bonuses for referrals, and then you gamify the whole thing with leaderboards, with social sharing, with competitive mechanics and status driven, because if you see, oh, Russell Brunson just helped close 400,000, then maybe you want to be the guy that beats that, right? So it creates status, and you get these emails. I've been in many of these. Then you get an email and you said this person helped sell 80,000, and then Simon Severino helped sell 79,000. You go, can we top that? Come on, team, send one more email. So you create this competitive situation, because it's also a community building with these people. Then you can do promotions next year because you know that they are great business people and they're reliable. And of course, the other people who are on the leaderboard, you can cooperate with a year later. So he leveraged some physical stuff. He leveraged some competitive and community-driven stuff. He had a long-form sales strategy. For multiple days, we were receiving things, and day one was for the early adopters and existing fans. Day two were for those who missed the first presentation, which was everyone. And then day three, fan sitters needing that final push. That's how he built up the flow. And then what's not in there is how small businesses can apply this. So what I did for you guys, and you can actually get this at thesalesshow.beehive.com. It's my blog, The Sales Show. You can grab this whole thing, because I've been breaking it down for you, and it's too much to read, but I broke it down. What if you have a micro budget? How do you apply these things? Or a small budget or a medium budget? Because he doesn't have that. So you can go to the thesalesshow.beehive.com and you find the whole blueprint broken down for you so that you can grab it and improve your own marketing and sales right now. So if you have that huge budget, grab it and implement it as it is, with your style, with your voice. If you have a small budget, medium budget, then you can use our implementation checklist. You will find it if you hit the sales show, then you scroll down. You will find here 3 implementation plans for the small budgets, for specific industries, tech, finance, consulting, And then you find the full implementation checklists. So what will you do in the planning phase? What to do in the asset creation phase? What do you do in the systems building phase? And then pre-launch activation. How do you build momentum? How do you really crush the launch day itself? And then peak promotion checklist, and after the event, follow-up checklist, because as you know, sales is a game of following up. So there is a whole follow-up checklist here, because even after that, you can work those people. They came for you, they are fans, otherwise they wouldn't be there. Hope this helps, guys. This was the breakdown of brilliant Alex Hormozi's payday of 103 million. If you are a small company, you can find your adaptation at Sales Show blog. And if you are in finance, you can find your own adaptation there. If you're in consulting, you can find your adaptation. If you're in technology, you can find your own adaptation of that. Keep rolling, everyone.